All right, I'm going to go ahead and set it up.
Okay. And if you have a visual aid, there's a share screen function like Thomas just did, so we can see what is on his screen. Okay. And you will not be docked if you get up and change your slide, okay? Just try and make it as conversational as possible. All right, whenever you're ready.
All right. Are you tired of spending money on just simply throwing your trash away? Through plasma gasification technology, there is a way for average consumers to get paid to throw their trash away. According to Dr. Boyer in his 2009 or 2008 edition of Dovetail Partners, this is because there's trapped energy in our garbage that can be harvested using a technique called plasma gasification. As a student in the energy industry, it is my livelihood to research these types of energies. Plasma gasification is becoming more and more popular source of energy across the world because it works by burning and eliminating trash. It creates electricity, it creates fuel, and it can have a very little carbon emissions. So let's begin by looking at how plasma gasification works by burning our trash. Plasma gasification works by harvesting the energy, create or contain organic matter that we throw away. As you can see in the picture by Gutierrez in 2012, there's plenty of trash to be burned. By heating trash up to 5,000 degrees Celsius, which is about 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit, the trash becomes incinerated as a gas. This can be attributed to Young's 2008 article in Pollution Engineering magazine. At this temperature, the energy in the gas essentially breaks down and can be used as heat as a form of energy. What doesn't get burned either gets moved to a landfill as ash or can get used as another fuel source. Plasma is a high temperature gas that can be used as thermal energy. So in addition to how plasma gasification works, let's investigate the electrical energy that can be created from it. By burning trash through plasma gasification, heat energy created can be used to create electricity. According to Dr. Young, from here, this form of heat energy is used to heat water into steam. The steam is then used to spin either large or a series of smaller turbines to create electricity. Similarly, who has seen windmills when they drive through southern Wyoming near Laramie? Much like windmills, the turbines spin to create electricity. This is from Wind Turbine Technologies in 2016. The electricity created from plasma gasification varies depending on how much trash is burned. According to Dr. Dutch Arm's PhD thesis in 2010, on average, a plant can produce about 533 kilowatt hours of electricity per ton of waste. This equates to about $76.80 per ton that the company makes by burning the trash. After costs and a profit margin, this allows about $35 per ton of trash. Dr. Dutch Arm argues the U.S. generates anywhere from 400 to 500 million tons of trash every year. This can be a vast amount of electricity produced. Now that we have looked at the electricity produced, how plasma gasification works, let's look at another fuel source that can be created through the process. According to Tanya Blake in her article in 2014 edition of Engineering magazine, another source of energy created is during the plasma gasification process are fossil fuels. These fossil fuels include jet fuel, diesel, ethanol, and naphtha. These fuels are a byproduct of the process that can come from plastics and other oil-rich materials. Blake says that of these, diesel and ethanol are used most frequently by American consumers. Every time we fill up at a filling station, as seen in the photo by LED Sources in 2016, we generally use either diesel or at least part ethanol in our cars. If these products were simply sent to landfills, it would be like throwing away fuel. By using plasma gasification, the greenhouse gases produced by decomposing materials are also greatly reduced. Blake argues that this process helps in three ways. By lowering our carbon footprint, by lowering emissions, it helps create energy, and it also reduces the amount of mass sent to landfills. Finally, now that we have looked at how plasma gasification works, how it creates both electricity and fuel, we will now look at how it reduces emissions and energy. Plasma gasification can reduce the amount of emissions produced to create energy. What you see in the photo is a plant reducing a minimal amount of emissions when compared to a coal plant by DeStation in 2015. Compared to moving trash to landfills, plasma gasification actually produces fewer carbon emissions into the atmosphere. By comparison, one study concluded that by using plasma gasification, 3 times fewer carbon emissions and other harmful emissions were released into the atmosphere. Let's review what we've talked about today. There are 4 key steps in understanding plasma gasification. Today we've talked about how plasma gasification works to burn and eliminate trash, the electricity that can be produced, the other fuel sources that are created, and the emissions released by plasma gasification. By using plasma gasification technology, we not only help the environment by lowering greenhouse gases, but we also help by decreasing the amount of trash in landfills. Plus, we get energy out of the process as well. Wouldn't you like to be paid to throw away your trash?
All right, good job. Okay, who wants to go next?
I can go next.
How was recording? Did you get it, Thomas?
Yep, I got it.
All right, make sure you record.
Okay.
You're recording, yeah?
It says, please request recording permission from meeting host.
Did yours say that, Thomas?
No. It's recorded. I saw it drop into my little folder.
Let's see if I get anything from you. Did you say yes?
Did it work?
You didn't get anything.
Oh.
Try one more time.
How about now?
Mm-mm. I didn't get an email either.
Mine says recording.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good then.
Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Based on my biology Life 10 class, we all have something in common, and that's that we all come from a family. Whether that's aunts and uncles, grandparents, parents, we all come from some sort of biological process. So my speech today is about how important a family is to shaping an individual. Now, based on my small research and my very large family, including 2 stepbrothers, a brother, a sister, a dad, a mom, and a stepmom, and my dog, I have had the chance to learn how important a family is, not only to myself, but to individuals all around me. Family is important for 3 major reasons. And that is that they're there to celebrate the good times with you, they're there to support you in bad times, and they're there to give you the principal morals to be successful throughout life. First, let's talk about the good times. There's nothing like a family party. Everybody's standing around and talking to each other, giving a good pat on the back on how well you did, not to mention there's usually a lot of good food there usually. The most popular family blog of 2015, called Worth a Read, quotes that, if you are happy, then people will most likely be jealous of you, but not your family. They will always be there to support you and to tell you how good of a job you did. Now, this is also another way of saying that your family is your biggest cheerleader. Now, when I say that, I mean that they're always there to give you a pat on the back. They're there to help you push yourself to the next level. They're also there to encourage you to do your best. I know that everybody can slack off a little bit every now and then, but your family is there to help you support you through all the good times in your life. Now, everybody has their good times, but everybody has their bad times. So a family is always there to support you in your bad times. Whether you're sick and you need a bowl of soup, or you broke a limb and they're there to bring you an ice pack. Also, a family is always there to bail you out of whatever trouble you're in. Take that figuratively or literally, depending on what type of person you are. Dr. Wayne Matthews quotes that strong families have a sense of loyalty and devotion. Family sticks together. This is to say that you will never be alone when you have a strong family. You will always have someone there to support you and help you through times of need. Now, in addition to what they can give you, family can also teach you the moral principles to get you through a successful life. Family is there to teach you the morals and teach you how to behave, for one. To behave, Ira Moore, a psychiatrist in family learning, quotes that teaching your child moral principles and getting a good example will teach you the morals for the rest of their lives. This is to say, all those times you threw the tantrum in the grocery store, or all the times you cried to your mom about how you couldn't get what you want, are ways of them teaching you morals that will set you up for the rest of your life. Family also teaches you how to love. This will help you build relationships along your life. This includes family, friends, significant others when it comes to that time. They teach you how to build those strong relationships and to make your own family one day. As a review, family is important for 3 reasons. They are there to support you in the good times, support you in the bad times, and they're there to teach you the moral principles. Now, I know we all come from different backgrounds, whether that is living with a grandparent or living with an aunt and uncle, or maybe you don't have siblings. We all have somebody that we can go home to and we can talk about our day. We have a shoulder to cry on, and there's always somebody there to tell us right from wrong. Now, I know after making this speech, I know I just wanted to give my mom and dad the biggest hug ever after I realized how much they've done for me. So I would encourage you, after we're all done giving our speeches, to go and tell or make that phone call to your family and tell them how much you appreciate all that they've done for us, because we wouldn't be anywhere we are today without them. Thank you.
All right. Who wants to go next? We're doing peer critiques at the same time, right? Everybody's doing those?
Yep.
Okay.
Is there a way to turn the recording off?
I think you just hit it. Stop recording at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you get it?
it still says recording.
Like there's share screen and then there's chat and then stop recording.
Like it says recording up in the upper corner where there's that red dot blinking.
Yeah, mine says that too. But at the bottom, you like shake your mouse.
Maybe it'll just turn off when I turn the video off.
Probably, you'll just have a lot of people on there. That's
No,
okay.
that's okay. That's okay.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go next since I think my sound is working
It
today.
is working. Woohoo!
Yay!
Okay. So make
And
sure
mine says the same thing, recording permission from meeting host.
But does it say it's recording? Like, does it show it's recording?
Maybe mine did say that, but I saw it was recording, so I just clicked out of it.
Okay.
I didn't read it.
It's been saying recording the whole time. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, we're gonna hope it works. Because I haven't got any notifications or anything.
Are we ready?
If not, I'll have to publish it as like a video or something and figure that out. And then you can just watch everyone again. But yes, to answer your question, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. What if there was a vaccine that could protect us from cervical, anal, and throat cancer, just to name a few. Well, there is. It's called the HPV, or human papillomavirus vaccine. Let me tell you a little story about a young, beautiful, vibrant, many hopes and dreams for her future. Then she called that she has end-stage cervical cancer. And within 3 weeks, she's dead. My hope is that this does not have to happen to the next generation, or this does not have to be my son or daughter's story. Today we are going to cover what HPV, or the human papillomavirus, is, the HPV vaccine, and the side effects for the HPV vaccine. For the rest of my speech, I'll refer to the human papillomavirus simply as HPV. Let's first cover what HPV is. HPV is a group of 150 types of viruses. These viruses also cause genital warts. HPV is spread through either anal, oral, or vaginal sex. There are more than 40 types of HPV that affect both male and female genitalia, and they range from low risk to high risk forms. So HPV causes not only cervical cancer, but cancer of the vulva, vagina, anus, and throat, including the back of the tongue and tonsils. Now that we know what HPV is, let's look at the vaccine. The vaccine is a 3-dose series. You receive 1 shot, 2 months later you receive your second, and 6 months later you receive your third. The HPV vaccine protects against multiple strains of HPV, including low and high risk strains. Dr. Durag in 2008 Journal of Family Health reported that the HPV vaccine protects against low-risk strains 6 and 11, which cause 95% of genital warts. It also protects against the high-risk strains 16 and 18, which cause 70% of cervical cancers. Dr. Wilkinson in the Canadian Medical Association Journal in 2013 conducted a study of girls ages 9 to 14 and found a 56% decrease in the strain in these children that the HPV vaccine protects against. She also found that just 1 dose of the HPV vaccine has an 82% effectiveness rate. Now that we've looked at the HPV vaccine, let's look at the side effects. So the CDC conducted a test on over 70,000 individuals. They studied 3 main brands of the HPV vaccine: Cervarix, Gardasil, and Gardasil 9. In all of these studies, they found no link from the HPV vaccine to sterility in males or females. There has been a lot of stuff on the internet saying that HPV vaccine causes sterility. And in these studies, the CDC found that that is absolutely not true. Side effects were normal side effects of injections, which are redness and pain at the injection site. Other side effects included syncope or fainting after injections, and this can be avoided by simply having people sit down for 15 to 20 minutes after receiving the vaccine. So please do not believe what you hear about the HPV vaccine and sterility on the internet. So we've covered what HPV is, the HPV vaccine. Amazing is it that we now have a vaccine that can protect us from cancer. My hope is that you will go out and encourage your family and friends and loved ones to receive the HPV vaccine so that we no longer have to have people dying from preventable cancers.
All right. Who is next?
I can go.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Let's record first. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. So, what exactly is the Navy in your eyes? And as an engineering student resident of the East Coast, I hear about the Navy a lot. I have grown up around people wanting to be in the Navy. My parents have been in the Navy, and I would eventually like to work for them. I have researched and talked to a government worker about this topic that I will speak today. Today I will be talking about the three main Navy system commands: NAVSEA, NAVAIR, and SPAWAR. Let's begin with NAVSEA. NAVSEA stands for the Naval Sea Systems Command. They are obviously the largest system command in the Navy due to the fact that is what the Navy is known for. They deal with the ships, design, building, and everything else to deal with any type of ship and supply, according to NAVSEA in 2016. There are also many divisions within NAVSEA. There are three main divisions and there are headquarters divisions. The three main divisions are the Naval Surface Warfare, the Naval Undersea, and Naval Regional Maintenance. These are all over the U.S., while headquarters, which is located in Norfolk, have some minor divisions. Controller, which controls most of the headquarters, the contracts in which employees are known for. The logistics, maintenance, and industrial operations have to do with the ships and all this stuff. And Naval Systems Engineering, acquisition and commonality, dealing with business. Undersea warfare, dealing with submarines. Total force and cooperation operations systems, and surface warfare. Now that we know about NAVSEA, we'll move on to NAVAIR, or the research NAVSEA. There's unmanned underwater, and these are used for better performed and unmanned operations. There's also future military bullets. These will go 6 times the speed of sound. Let's move on to NAVAIR, which stands for Naval Air Systems Command. Naval aviation aircraft and weapons are used mainly throughout this. There are the headquarters divisions, which is located in Patuxent River, Maryland, and there are program management, contracts, test and evaluation, research and engineering, corporate operations, and total force, logistics, and industrial operation. This is very similar to NAVSEA, as these are all in the Navy, so it would make sense. They also have 2 main major divisions: the Aircraft Division, NAVCAD, and Weapons Division, NAVCWC. These are mainly for around the country, so you can get a job or anything wherever these are. The research in NAVAIR has to do with cyber warfare to protect the U.S. from cyber threats. And then there's also 3D printing parts for the aircraft called the V-22 in the picture. This will be flying out in sometime this month, and they will hope for the 3D printing process. Now we'll speak about SPAWAR, which is Space and Naval System Command, mainly based upon information. They use this information to create technology and weapons against other people. The divisions and the headquarters located in California are finance, contracts, logistics and fleet support, engineering, program management, acquisition, science technology, corporate operations, and legal. Then some research they have are supercomputers, which will be used to crack more delicate operations and harder operations. And then you also have the research on dolphins. They will make technology and attach it to dolphins for underwater warfare and missions. Let's go back over the 3 main Navy system commands. The Navy has the beginning one, NAVSEA, and they also have NAVAIR, and lastly, SPAWAR. These systems are an essential part of advancing technology and will be engineering new technology in years to come. So what exactly is the Navy in your eyes?
Good job. All right, Kayla. Last but not least. Okay. All right, you recording?
I think so.
Okay, let's hope.
A vaccination is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as a substance that is usually injected into a person or animal to protect against a particular disease. I'm here to talk to you about the benefits that come about with vaccinating your child at the suggested time. As I spent 2 years in the pre-nursing program, vaccinations have always been a subject that never seemed to have a right and wrong belief. I'm going to talk about how vaccinations take the risk of a certain illness away from your child, how it can be safer for other children who are unable to receive vaccinations, and how it is cost effective to get your child their vaccinations at the proper time. Let's begin with the first benefit to getting your child vaccinated. Without the suggested vaccinations, your child is at risk of obtaining a deadly illness. Although the suggestion of 25 vaccines and boosters in your child's first 15 months of life may seem like a lot, it is to prevent them from catching a deadly disease. HealthLink BC stated that vaccines help prevent diseases that can cause lifelong damage. For example, meningococcal disease can cause brain damage, kidney damage, deafness, and loss of limbs. About 1 in 10 people who get the disease will die. Vaccines protect your child from harm caused by many diseases. Another reason as to why getting vaccines is beneficial is that there is very low risk to the actual vaccine. The risk comes down to the chance of your child possibly reacting to the substance injected, although that is very rare. For example, Sanofi Pasteur Incorporated presented that the risk of a child will have a severe allergic reaction after the MMR, which is measles, mumps, and rubella, or DTaP, diphtheria, tetanus, and acellular pertussis vaccine is less than 1 in a million. Now that we have covered the importance of preventing deathly illness, we can move forward to the topic of preventing other person's illnesses. It is important to look out for those that cannot receive vaccinations. If your child goes unvaccinated, there is a chance they could cause an outbreak if they catch a disease. Not only does this cause an illness to your child, but also to many others. This could cause death for a number of infants. A second reason as to why it is important to help prevent other illnesses is that certain children that have cancer or other diseases are unable to get vaccinated. Therefore, we need to help prevent their ability to be even more sick. Now that we have learned how others can benefit from your child being vaccinated, we can look at the cost effectiveness of them receiving their vaccinations on time. There are a couple reasons as to why it is suggested to get your child vaccinated at the proper time when it comes to finances. The online journal Public Health Reports show that their study has found that the vaccination coverage of children whose parents only delayed estimated vaccination coverage was significantly lower for 5 of the 10 recommended vaccines among children. This shows that with delayed vaccination, you're covered by half of what a child would have had if they got them on time. Also, if your child is not vaccinated and they become ill with a disease, there could be extremely expensive hospital bills as an outcome. A vaccine is defined. Now that we have reviewed the financial benefit of getting vaccinated when it is suggested, let's review what we talked about today. We learned about 3 ways that the vaccination of your child on time has benefits that come with it. First of all, without vaccinations, your child is at a massively bigger risk to catch a deadly illness or disease than those with vaccinations. Secondly, it is important that you look out for those that are not able to get vaccinated. The last benefit we have pointed out is the financial aspect of early vaccinations. Now I hope you can acknowledge some of the many benefits of having your child vaccinated on time.
Okay, so we'll see how this recording